Unbound Saga, a PSP game, has been brought to Xbox Live Arcade. With updated graphics, there's no denying the charm of this self-aware title. But does the gameplay bring enough variation to keep people playing? Let's find out. Unbound Saga tells a story of comic book tough guy Rick Ajax trying to find his maker. He's joined by a deadly partner, Lori Machete. I'm sensing a theme here with these names, who serves as his guide throughout the game. Instantly, Unbound Saga personality shines through. From the hilarious cutscenes to the rather deep plot, the story of Unbound Saga will certainly have you invested in Rick's journey. Unbound Saga is surprisingly thoughtful. The game will make you question the morals of comic book makers, and yes, even video game players. The story is so good because the game is completely self-aware that it is a beat-em-up. It mocks this genre of games and comic books, and unlike other games in this genre that take themselves too seriously, yes, Ken's Rage, I'm talking about you, Unbound Saga remains lighthearted even through its deeper thematic plot points. Unbound Saga is a butt masher. There's no getting around that. But is there enough variation in the character's upgradable moveset to prevent the game from becoming monotonous? The answer is yes and no. The main character, even after upgrading his moves, simply smashes enemies. He's very sluggish, and it can get frustrating when he's trying to pick up an object to assist in his smashing, because it takes so long for him to grasp the object and then turn towards the rapidly approaching enemy. With one hit, he will drop the object. On the other hand, his partner is much faster. She can eventually become invisible and teleport. As a result, she is much more fun to play as. The characters feel distinct. But when the result is one character being a bore to play, then it isn't necessarily a good thing. This is a linear experience, but there is enough variation in the environments to prevent the game from feeling as if you are just traveling from one room of death to another. As you can probably tell, Unbound Saga has a rather nice comic book art style. There is no animation in the cutscenes, but this isn't a problem given that the game is about a comic book. The levels and enemies look distinct, although I would have preferred more detail be put into the enemies. Effort was definitely put towards physics in the game. There's a lack of gravity in one section, and characters will go flying when hit hard enough. This is all quite effective in amplifying the game's over-the-top nature. Each section in a level is a comic book panel, adding a touch of authenticity. The voice acting is cliché, but given that the game is a parody, it actually adds to the comedy. Unfortunately, the dialogue used by enemies in the game not only repeats, but all too often has no audio to accompany it. During combat, there is a full suite of smashing and breaking that can be heard. There's nothing special here, but it certainly is of solid quality. There is no desire or need to replay a level once it is finished. If you still aren't tired of smashing enemies' faces in, there is a survival mode. It is far too easy, though, to employ a single strategy against the onslaught of repeating enemies. Because of this, it becomes boring not too long after starting. The only reason to replay any of the levels or survival mode is to increase your rank on the online leaderboards. Online and local co-op is present. Both are, from a technical standpoint, solid. However, you cannot switch characters when playing with a friend, so the fun that can happen in the single player from rapidly switching characters to create a flurry of moves is only possible if both of you are of the same mindset. So, the moment of truth. Unbound Saga does offer enough variation in gameplay, so as to not impede the hilarious and emotional story. The problem is there is no reason to play after experiencing the story. Unbound Saga gets a 7 out of 10.